Hi, I know it's late. It's Mary from Stella's Casa, located in Williamsport, Pennsylvania, the recovery haven. I just realized like it's been a while since I posted, and it's really been a minute since I made a video. Extremely tired. Listen, I am burnt out, to be honest with you. Like I have been grinding and grinding, like work, Stella's Casa, my four kids, life. Like life has been challenging me and forcing me to work, and I've been putting in the work and it's really starting to pay off. But anyway, I just wanted to make a video and I wanted to talk about my journey in developing Stella's Casa. Um, I remember a year and a half ago, I was sitting in my bed and I was just contemplating life. I was contemplating like every single relationship in my life. I was contemplating my relationship with God, and I really went through this like spiritual awakening or something, like whatever you want to call it. A lot of those of us that have been in recovery for a little bit, usually experience this maybe several times. And this was like a doozy. It had me questioning my parents, my birth, my friendships, my relationships. And it had me questioning myself, like for real. And I started embarking on change and growth and healing and forgiveness and, really trying to do something different with my life. And the majority of my life, like I always settled for mediocre education, mediocre career, mediocre relationships, like mediocre house, mediocre car. Like I always settled for what I thought I was worthy of, right? And I didn't really challenge myself. I didn't really push myself to do better or to be better. Like I kind of was just like, it is what it is, right? And here I am in my early 40s and I'm like, is this really what life is going to be? You're hardly ever home. You're always at work. Your kids are raising themselves and you're limited. You're limited in your relationships. You seem to give more than you get, and I was like, something's got to change. Something's got to change. So I really tried to like heal and grow and forgive. And I did some like deep dive into my family history. And I found out that I was an Aztec warrior princess. And I found out who my biological father was at the age of 42. And I was able to heal and grow from that experience in my life. I went months with just really being by myself, like not being around people and not trying to run and hide from my feelings and emotions and not trying to act like this stuff hasn't affected me my entire life. Like I really tried to just really allow myself to feel it and move on, and I did. I'm sorry. Like I always fidget, like, listen, I'm tired, but I'm gonna get through this video. We're gonna get through it together. I really should have some coffee, but here we are, right? So just bear with me. So I went through this like whole experience and like healing and soul searching, dark night of the soul, whatever you want to call it, spiritual awakening. And I came out of the other side of that, like, knowing what I wanted to do with my life and not really convinced yet that I was like capable of it, but I knew I wanted to start Stella's Casa. I started talking about it like all the time. Oh, I want to open a recovery center. Oh, I want to help people. And this is what I would do if I opened a recovery center. And, and this is what I would want to call it. Like I would want to name it after my mom and, and that came out of nowhere. It came out of me healing. It came out of me forgiving and accepting and, and looking at myself like on some like deep level, ugly, like honest, gut wrenching stuff. Like the major problem in my life wasn't what happened to me when I was a kid. It wasn't my addiction. It was me. Like it was me. Like I was my problem. I was my limitation. I was my barrier. I was my roadblock. I was my arch nemesis. Like I was that. And I was done doing that to myself. I was done putting myself through that. And so I started talking about Stella's Casa nonstop and used AI and used Google and belonged to this like recovery hub in my area, and I networked a lot and I did a lot of outreach and I got connected with people, and it seemed like the stars were aligning and the planets were aligning and God was just putting the right people in my life that said, listen, Mary, one day you're just gonna have to take a risk. You're just gonna have to do it. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna open a recovery center. And I started slowly, like step by step, building an idea, a dream. And I had this amazing dream of what I wanted Stella's Casa to be. I wanted to be able to help people with CRS services, certified recovery specialist services, certified family recovery specialist, because I don't think it's an individual's problem. I feel like it's really a family problem. And I really wanted to do as much as possible for not only that person, but that family, that relationship, that community. I really wanted to break through or help the individual break through all these barriers of early recovery that suck, that absolutely, excuse my language, but fucking suck. Like rebuilding and restarting your life over and over again has to be one of the most challenging things in one's life. You know, especially when you keep doing it over and over again and you keep running your head into that same brick wall and you're just like, I don't want to do this anymore. And like to have somebody love and support you through that, even if you relapse, even if you slip, even if you make horrible decisions, even if you gamble away your whole paycheck, even if you aren't the most spiritual, upstanding person after having 6 days clean, like even if you fall short on any given day and you still have people love and support you and like get it. They like truly get it. And I wanted to create an environment like that because it was that kind of environment that gave me my life back. It was those kind of people that gave me a life far beyond my wildest dreams and like made me believe in myself to the point where I started to believe that I could actually open a recovery center. That like little old me who thought I didn't really deserve anything good in life and I was probably never going to really be anything other than a CRS that worked at an outpatient. Like that was my it. And I'm not saying that's bad for anybody. Listen, I love my job. I love what I do. I go there 5 days a week and I absolutely love it. And I'm not knocking anybody. But for me, I just felt like it wasn't enough. Like I didn't feel content or satisfied. Like I felt stuck. I felt like this isn't really what I want. And I have my whole life and I have been stuck in situations and relationships and jobs and homes and with vehicles, with whatever. I've been stuck with myself, just settling my whole life. And I was done with that. So this dream was just a dream. But like I still kept building it. Like I kept researching and reaching out and picking people's brains and going to these workshops and these events where I met amazing people who said, Mary, I just had a dream one day. And look at me now. I have like 5 recovery centers all over the country, you know, and they're helping thousands of people. And I wanted to do that, you know, and I really got serious one day. And just after like a year of working on it. Now, by this time, I had done a lot of research and I had started writing the bylaws and I had started implementing the entire program and different programs that were going to be inside the program and volumes and pamphlets and packets. And I just slowly started to really build Stella's Casa. And then I invested all kinds of money and like made it a legit nonprofit. And I put in a 501c3 and a 1023 and I did all my research on, you know, do I need a lawyer? Do I not need a lawyer right now? When is a good time to get a lawyer? Like I'm telling you, it hasn't been easy. It really wasn't until super recently. Oh my gosh. Like I gotta stop looking at myself. I really do. I'm just talking to my friends, right? I'm just talking to my homies, right? At almost 11 o'clock at night. But anyway, so I did all that. And I found out my friend, one of my close friends, had the same idea. She was going to open a recovery center. And I was like, oh man, there goes my dream. There goes my dream. Maybe I was crazy. Like maybe I was hallucinating. Maybe I really wasn't supposed to do this. Maybe this isn't my calling in life. Maybe I just wanted it so badly, you know, but I don't really deserve it anyway. Like I don't deserve this, you know. This is after like a year of building my dream. I was willing to just toss it all away. And I struggled with this because she is a really good friend of mine and I think she would have made an awesome, amazing executive director. Like there's even a part of me that thinks she's probably better at it than I would be at it, you know, but I went right back to the same old thinking, like, you don't really deserve this, Mary. You don't deserve this. You're not that creative. You're not that driven. You know, you barely got your GED. You barely got out of college. Like you barely have achieved anything in your life. Like, and one day she came to me and she was just like, I want you to do this. I will give up my dream so you can pursue yours. And listen, wow. I didn't know what to think. I didn't know what to say. But it was probably one of the greatest gifts somebody ever gave to me. And I started just chipping away slowly after that. Every couple of days, like I would do something else. Like I would make the employee pamphlet or the volunteer pamphlet, and I would research who I needed to reach out to locally, and I would look at jobs, and I would create flyers and pamphlets and business cards, and I just slowly started chipping away at this. And by the time I did all of that stuff, Stella's Casa had grown into like this beast, like this recovery haven for real. Like, and I had actually implemented programs and like missions, like what I wanted to achieve there, and collaboration, and realizing that the best way to make and carry on my mom's legacy, who believed that it took a village. You know, my mom had no problem reaching out for help to people, whether it was AIDS resource or churches or basically anybody that would be willing to help, you know? Like when she was trying to get her life back together, my mom reached out to everybody that was willing to help. The assistant's office, SSI, like it didn't matter. Like my mom reached out for help, and it took every little bit of help from my mom to get her life back. And when I got clean, I did the same thing. Like I was rehab, IPOs and judges to answer to, my parents, my friends, like my kids, and I reached out to dozens of people. I reached out to the assistant's office and just different agencies that would be willing to help me because I needed every resource available to help me get back on my feet again, you know, and some of them said yeah, and some of them said no, Mary, you're on your own. Like we ain't got the money. We can't help you, whatever, you know, but the agencies that were available to help helped. And I'm grateful for that, you know, and Stella's Casa became something like far beyond something I could have ever even dreamed of making or creating. And I realized that this wasn't just a me thing, that it was really all the knowledge that I gained in the last year and a half. What works, what doesn't work, what might work, what could work, and little gaps that are like in between treatment centers and MAT clinics, rehabs, and outpatient facilities. I realized that there was like little gaps and barriers between resources that I could like help fill in, you know? And I didn't want to work against the community, against businesses and resources that were already implemented and being used by dozens, hundreds of addicts, you know, hundreds of people that were trying to get their lives back together. I wanted to help smooth out those gaps, help fill them, you know? So when somebody's trying to get their life back together, they hear yes more than they hear no. And they feel a sense of community, and they feel seen and heard and supported and loved, you know, that they don't feel like they're falling through the cracks, or that like nobody really believes in them. And it takes a village to do that. Because what I may be able to help with, somebody else may not be able to. And what somebody else may not be able to help with, or what I may not be able to help with, somebody else may be able to. You know, and that's the kind of environment that saves lives, man. This war on drugs has been going on since I was a child. I remember Ronald Reagan and Nancy, and I remember the eggs in the frying pan. I remember Gulf War. Like, I remember all of that stuff. I remember being taught that drugs were bad, and what was his name? McGruff, the dog, take a bite out of crime. Like, I remember the DARE program, you know, and here we are in 2026, and it is still an epidemic. Kensington, Philadelphia, you know, Skid Row, California, but it just doesn't happen just there. It happens in little towns like Williamsport, Pennsylvania, where people are homeless, sleeping in the streets when it's 102 degrees out, like no place to go to cool off. I want them to be able to come to Stella's Casa, even if it's just to cool off for a few minutes, get a bite to eat, you know, and if they want help, they can get it. I'm not saying I want to save the planet, but I want to make a difference on this floating rock. You know, just to update you guys on where I am with my progress, you know, turning a dream into a reality, turning pain into purpose, turning my casa into su casa, you know. I met with Jamie Flick, our state representative, and the meeting went incredibly amazing, and I appreciate his staff. He has an amazing office manager, and she helped me with so much resources and options and opportunities for grants. You know, I'm going to be able to apply for even more money than I originally planned or thought I could. And Mr. Flick was just incredible. He was an amazing person, and I am proud to call him our state representative. He made me feel seen and valid and important member of this community, and he believed in me. I am the girl that struggles to believe in herself. I can believe in everybody else that walks through my life, into my life, out of my life. I will believe in the stranger on the corner. I will believe in everybody, but I struggle with believing in Mary. But I walked in his office with some confidence, you know, and walked out there feeling like Superwoman with a cape on. You know, I felt like not only can I do this, I am doing this. And I am beyond grateful to the people that supported me, to my good dear friend who gave up her dreams so I could pursue mine, to all the people that heard me talking about Stella's Casa, like, for a year and a half and wasn't sure if I was just bullshitting or if I was serious. My sponsor, my beautiful sponsor, who really pushed me and encouraged me. My kids who put up with me working into the late hours and waking up in the early morning just to continue to working on this. Like, I have put so much time, energy, and effort into Stella's Casa, and starting to get the ducks in a row. I'm starting to see the finish line. I opened Stella's Casa's bank account with a local bank, and it was just overwhelming to see me and my mom's name on a business card, you know, and I am truly grateful for God, because I know without him, none of this would be possible. Like, I wouldn't even have thought of Stella's Casa, you know, and I wouldn't have worked myself to death, pouring every ounce of energy. Even now, like, I'm tired now, and I'm making a video just to talk about this, my own experience of trying to start a recovery center and going from a little girl who, like, never believed she was going to be able to be anything more than a drug addict, that thought she was just going to be a career criminal just like her parents, and I wasn't going to amount to anything. I wasn't going to be memorable. Like, people would forget about who Mary Gonzalez was the second I was gone, and today, like, I just don't believe that. I believe that I was put on this planet to make a difference. I'm not saying that, like, that I'm some earth angel or some, you know, alien or whatever, like, but I feel like I was really put on this planet. I believe that everybody was put on this planet for a purpose, and I just want to make something of that, you know. I don't want to just give up 5 minutes before the miracle, as they would say in recovery, you know, and I'm not. I'm almost there. I'm going to start applying for grants now. My dream is still to open the doors by October. I still do need donations and help and assistance. If you guys want to donate, please donate. I think my goal is actually $2,500, because I have to have that in my checking account for the business by September. No pressure, right? I have my first board meeting on the 26th of July, and I am extremely excited to welcome just the most amazing human beings I have had the privilege of meeting and knowing, and I am excited to pick their brains and help make Stella's Casa even better than it already is. Like, it's hard to imagine that, but I am just so thrilled about this experience in my life, for taking a risk, for pursuing my dreams, even when it was hard, even when I didn't believe in myself, even when I wanted to give up over and over and over again, and I thought I invested all this money into nothing, and I was about to throw it all away, and now we're here, guys, and you know, I can't wait to start posting videos of my grand opening and me getting frustrated about trying to put together a freaking desk or a chair. My daughter is trying to tell me how I need to decorate the place, and I really can't wait until, like, the first person walks in the door and I get to help them, whether it's with a meal or just an ear to listen to them, and to be able to provide them with some help, you know, to get through another 24-hour period, you know, without the use of drugs. Like, just thank you. I'm rambling. Some of this video doesn't even make sense. I'm just tired, but I really wanted to just talk about, like, my experience and how grateful I am and appreciative I am. And please donate. Cash App, Stella's Casa 1959. You can go on GoFundMe and look for Stella's Casa, a recovery haven. You can just, you know, send me some money. You can Zelle me money now. PNC Bank, Stella's Casa. Like, there's a million ways. You can give me 50 cents if you see me in passing. Like, just, please help me raise some money. It's nice to rely on funding and grants, but sometimes, like, it takes a village of us addicts, you know. It takes a village of us people to really make dreams come true. Anyway, have a good night. Have a wonderful Thursday, and God bless.